Hello, guys, and welcome to Zoomvivor Anarchy's finale and reunion. My name is James, and with me is the cast of um, our season, Zoomvivor 4. Can the cast please say hello or turn on their cameras? Um, it feels kind of lonely here by myself. Hello, guys. And yeah, we're very excited to have this reunion. We'll find out who is our victor and winner of Survivor Anarchy. And from there, we will be revisiting uh, iconic moments in the season that made Anarchy such a truly memorable game for the not only for the players but also for our fans. So we'll get straight to it. Are you guys ready to know who is our winner? Are you ready to find out the votes? I don't think you guys are ready. No?
Yes, ready, ready.
Yes.
You guys ready? Okay.
Ready, yes.
Okay. Good luck to our final three. Mads, Van, and Rain. One of you will be our winner of Survivor Anarchy. Whoever it is, sure will be deserving. Good luck to the three of you. And with that, I will read the votes. All right. Here we go. Good luck to the final three. Here we go, guys. I will now read the votes. Sorry about that. Okay. Good luck, guys. We have 10 votes from the jury. And Rain, that's at least 5. Okay. Good luck. Okay. First vote. Rain. 1 vote for Rain. Next vote. Dan. 1 vote Rain. 1 vote Stan. Mads. That's 1 vote Rain. 1 vote Stan. 1 vote Mads. Alright. 7 votes left. Next vote. Rain. 2 votes Rain. 1 vote Stan. 1 vote Mads. Next vote. Tan. That's two votes, Rain. Two votes, Tan. One vote, Max. Next vote, Rain. Three votes, Rain. Two votes, Tan. One vote, Max. Four votes left. Next vote, Rain. That's four votes, Rain. Two votes, Tan. One vote, Max. Next vote, again to the final three. Good luck to you guys. We'll now go on to read the votes. Our next vote is for before that, for everyone who's watching on Facebook, guys, please feel free to ask in their questions for our cast and make sure to share our. Anyway, as I was saying, next vote, the winner of Survivor Anarchy. Congratulations to Rain. Rain, you have
Congrats, Rain.
won our
Congratulations!
Congrats,
Congratulations!
Ray! Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Good job, Stan and Mads.
Good
Good
job.
day. Good day for you,
Congratulations!
Stan and Mads.
Thank you, guys.
Deserve.
congratulations.
I have no words. I don't know. I just, I'm sorry. James, you were saying sorry.
How are you feeling right now?
No, I'm just so, I'm really very emotional, and but of course I'm happy to win, and at the same time I'm glad that this season ends on a good note for me, and I'm just happy. I'm just happy. I'm just happy. I'm sorry. I'm just so
Well,
happy.
I'm sure that you really, really deserve your win. You played such a great game. Can you tell us something about the charity that you chose to be part of your win?
Sorry, the charity that I chose is Project Wi-Fi, which is a charity that's headed by my friend David, our friend David, and it is a charity that helps students to have access to education by providing device and internet. Especially now in the times of pandemic, because a lot of poor Filipino kids cannot have access to education. So that's that. And I also am going to match whatever I could give to Project Wi-Fi to Garrett's charity, because in this process I have met an awesome friend in Garrett, and I made a bet with him that if ever that I win, I will match that amount to give it to his charity. And Garrett, would you like to share with us your uh, charity?
Yeah, thanks, Rain. So Live Like Lou was my charity. It's a charity for ALS, which I think it's become a much more known thing, especially in the survivor community now because of Penner's wife. But essentially, this charity, it gives a lot of money to help research to find a cure, as well as to help support families going through it, and help specifically support the kids who are going through one of their parents having it. So thank you very much, Rain. It definitely means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. All the members of the jury. Thank you.
Alright, congratulations. We will be revealing who voted for who for our final three. So the voting history will be revealed right now. So I will be dictating who voted for who. All right. Okay. So the votes turned out to be 7 for Rain, 2 for Stan, and 1 for Mads. Right. So Anthony voted for Rain. Sorry, Anthony voted for Mads. Lauren and Lee voted for Stan, and the rest voted for Rain. So that's how our jury votes have been casted. Right. Congratulations once again, Rain. You played such a great game.
Thank
It
you,
was such
James.
joy to watch you play the game, and to our runners up as well, Mads and Stan. Congratulations! Also, as a win, we will also be donating to your charities. Congratulations as well to them. Just let us know through our just contact us on the details on whatever, and we'll be more than happy to donate as well in the charities Stan and Mads chose. So congratulations once again, guys, and thank you so much for giving us such a great season. So yeah, okay. So now that that's out of the way, so we'll be going on with our reunion. So let's remove all of the tension from the music. So we're gonna revisit all of the moments that happened in Survivor Anarchy. I'm sure there has been a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but it is nothing short of a great season. So we will be highlights. Um, a few highlights of the game that the fans are very very excited to hear from um to what do you call that to talk about here in our reunion. So we'll be relaxing for tonight. So yeah. So for our we will start our reunion with a couple of iconic uh memorable moments. Let's start with Missy. Hi Missy, how are you? It's kinda new for us to see you not in the car. So a lot of fans has been asking where were you headed? Where were you headed at the time? And number two, did you ever reach go? Because
Where
they
was
saw
I?
yeah,
You
because
said,
in the
did I?
whole trip you were driving, right?
Yes.
So where were
My son's friend, her son had a soccer game, and all of us
Mhm.
were at soccer tournament that day. And we had to drive
Mhm.
there, and he had a few games, and then we had a break, and we went and got food and stuff, and then came back to the game. So all day I was pretty much at a soccer game.
Okay. How did you manage to actually like manage social game and even like contribute so much in the challenges? Like how does Missy do it? Like can you tell us a secret that we don't know that we might need in the future?
I don't know. I was in my van most of the time, and I had the my granddaughter with me. She was a couple months old at the time. Actually, no, she was pretty much a newborn. She I stayed in the van with her so she could be warm and toasty. So I just was able to be on my phone and I could message people and still be on the Zoom call. And so that was pretty
It
much
actually,
it.
it actually got to the point wherein you were you were milk feeding your nieces or your nephew at that point. There was one tribal specifically that you were feeding them while you were on tribal. It looked like you're
Yes.
the most unbothered person out of the players there. Everyone was a nervous wreck doing the tribal, and you were just there like minding your own business. So how does it feel like
Well,
reading the comments, the reactions, or the questions that have been in our episode?
I'm actually just looking at them now. um, I'm a lot older than most of them, probably by like twice their age. So I know I can multitask pretty well.
What were the other players thinking at the time? Like, especially the Chaos members. Like, you were part of Missy's side quest wherever she was going. So, how does it like? How did you guys see it? Like, what was your reaction upon seeing that Missy was driving the whole time?
I was chanting in my head, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die.
No, but in all fairness to Missy, I mean, you only see her driving, but during that time we were together in the original Chaos Tribe, we were really talking every moment, and she was very participative in all of the challenges. So, I think she was parking her car every chat. If I'm not mistaken, Missy. Okay, Missy.
Anytime I keep forgetting to unmute. Anytime I had a challenge, I pulled over. I didn't drive and trying to do that at the same time.
I remember during that one challenge, I think it was the second one, the mastermind challenge, and then we were trying to look for a leader, and you were stepping up and you said, I know this challenge and I'm gonna lead us. And I remember talking to Gage and Garrett, and I was like, how is she going to do it? And yet we won that challenge thanks to you.
Yeah, she was good.
I've played a few.
Like driving, feeding her niece, and then like playing a game while managing. It's insane. Like other people, the fans are so baffled at how you manage to like push through and multitask. It's so unbelievable. Everyone watching you have the goal urge situation, and you were just like, I'm just gonna drive. Like everyone was asking were you going? Were you going to Walmart?
Yeah, I was soccer. I might have been at Walmart. I don't even remember. It's been a while.
I remember at one point you were in a drive
I
thru.
don't-
It's pretty fun.
Huh?
I said I remember at one point you were
But
in like
I
a
didn't hear. That was when we went to get food, I think.
yeah.
All right.
I don't even remember what we ate.
I'm sure everything has been there for everyone to see that this season has been actually this season happened in September. It's completely understandable that everyone doesn't really remember it fully, but from one memorable cast member to another, we go to one of the people one of who the fans think is the ayuda of the season. In English, it's called a blessing, probably.
The
So
trade
that's
of the season.
a trade, most likely.
All right, let's go, Migs.
Hi guys.
Let's now go to Gage. Gage, you have been seen
Yeah.
as someone who is very good looking, not only by your fellow players but fans alike.
Don't feed
it's
the ego more, James. Just stop. It's
okay. So since he doesn't want to, we now move on to another. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. I mean, how does it feel like to be tagged as that? I mean, do you even like how has been the reception for you in terms of like reading the comments? Like,
It's been really nice, you know. I mean, I wasn't necessarily like expecting that kind of, and I mean, it's fun. It's been a good time. No complaints.
A lot of people have been asking as well about your showmance with Garrett being the bros for life, um, who have always been together since day one and up until the time that you both got voted out. So Garrett and Gage. So seeing all of that showmance or bromance that happened throughout the game and how it was well received by our um our fans and the people who has been watching. How does it feel watching that? Are you still like that type like after the game?
Me and Garrett are not on talking terms at this point.
Or really?
I don't. Oh yeah, no, we talk. Yeah. No, it's been really. Garrett, you go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, I just love this motherfucker. He's so fun. Like we've just been having so much fun with it. Like we've like this the whole thing, you know, like we were tight day one on Chaos, and you know, a lot of people knew each other from outside this thing, and like we both didn't, so we're just like, fuck it. We got each other's back, and then since then, I mean, we've still been keeping in touch. We've still been joking around on the daily, so love it.
All right, so we will be seeing a future Garrett and Gage showmance again, possibly in future seasons.
I mean, if you invite us back.
Yeah, no, actually, if you invite us back, we won't talk to each other. We won't be on alliances together. No one, be chill. We're not gonna talk. We're gonna target each other.
Okay.
I want
Let's
Garrett
see how-
out first.
Oh, really? All right. So from this showmance, we now go to someone who has truly held their own, even if they lasted the shortest in the game. We now go to Migs. Hi, Migs.
Hi, James.
Being the ringleader, as thanks to Casey over here.
Queen,
So how
iconic.
even if I know that even if you went first, you have been very active in social media in terms of in terms of your presence in the season. A lot of people have been mentioning you in the latter episodes. Even Karen has been mentioning you because of the things that you did to her during the first episode. And Casey as well. Casey has been the reason why you got voted out. So being someone who has no experience being your first time playing Survivor, how was Survivor been like after the game?
Okay, so after the game, I kind of understood how Survivor in general works, and um, I already told people that get the moment that I have free time, then I'll probably be joining more minis. It's just that right now, work has been really um, eating most of my time. But yeah, the experience was super fun, and I wouldn't mind playing again. So, well, to quote Karen, I'll probably be the next Francesca.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Francesca. Make it happen.
But then I told her that it's gonna be, it should be 3 times first two, not two.
Oh, all right. So you'll beat Francesco's record.
Yeah, of course.
Right, from one record breaker to another, let's now go to one of the most popular players in the season, Karen. Did you know that
Queen.
you are the most you are the survivor player ever on the history of the whole Survivor franchise to ever have the most votes in a season against you with 31 votes casted on. So how does it feel like being targeted episode after episode and still lasting that long and finally breaking a record that was just I don't know if it's even something to be proud of, but I'm sure that you're proud of it. So yeah, I mean, how does it feel like being someone who has received the most votes against you in the season?
I actually don't know. Yeah, but it's kind of a different experience. Like it wasn't included in the first episode, but my intro was basically I told James that it's my first time to like play an international, this is a mini, so it's an international mini. And I, I don't know, but it's quite like good seeing people like in the comment section root for you. And then it's kind of nerve-wracking to see your name in the parchment. And then it's like a cycle. Like when you see your name in the parchment, it's kind of nerve-wracking. And then, and then you survive by the skin of your teeth, literally. And then you're kind of relieved, and then you're getting nervous again because you're seeing your. And I guess as time goes by, I kind of get used to it.
All right, who voted James out?
Yeah. Karen, why did you? What happened, Karen?
I didn't
You have the
hijack him.
curse. You have the curse.
Everybody
Yes,
cares, I'm not-
Meg's replacing James as the
Yeah,
main host.
yeah, Meg.
Start asking the
No.
questions.
You have the
Let's
biggest
go,
growth
Meg.
arc among us here, from first boot to the main host of Zoomvivor. How does it
Let's
feel?
go, Migs.
Let's go,
Let's
Mix.
go, Migs.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it just notified
Okay,
here.
so
You are
Migs
now
is
the
the
host.
host. You're now the host.
Not the host.
Start asking questions.
Okay, so my question, Karen, for this tribal, what do you think should the players remember? Karen, yes?
Where is James?
Maybe you should ask Jumed to come on.
Jumet.
Come on,
Oh,
Jumed.
come on, Jumed. Respond to us, Jumed. Oh, is Teacher Deb watching? Hi, Teacher Deb.
Jumed, let's go, co-host.
Hi, Jumed. Are you here? Are you watching?
Shout out to Edward, who says James is the next recipient of Project Wi-Fi.
Moving on.
Moving on. Okay.
Come on, Meg.
So,
Get on the hosting.
yeah. So aside from me, who I mean, as James mentioned, this. Oh, okay. James is
Oh.
back.
Let's go, James.
Sorry about that.
Someone was taking your place.
Yes, I know. I saw it in the last video. Someone already took my place, and I was like, okay, make this come to my place. All right. So we'll now be moving on with more iconic moments from the season. Also, we will be calling on some of the players that have made it short, but have been very memorable, like Jeff and Casey. Like Jeff, one of you have been very memorable in terms of your confessionals because you have been very upfront with your confessionals, especially with your not being shy about speaking in Filipino, cursing in Filipino. Like how did it feel like reliving those moments as you were watching the episode?
First, I am cringing because it's my first time being seeing myself in watching myself in Zoom. But it really was my feeling. Those confessionals. I'm having a hard time explaining myself in English, so that's the reason why I'm speaking Tagalog. And that moment when I cursed like putang ina, sorry, pero that's literally what I felt just that time. Like being so fuck is so annoying, so frustrating. But again, it's the game. I really respect what happened during my game.
All right. So and a lot of people, a lot of fans has been requesting this. Can you do that confessional one more time for us? Like the one with both of the hands on your face. So from one swap fuck player to another, we now go to Casey. Hi Casey. So you suffered the same fate as Jeff. You were swap fucked into the Chaos tribe from your original tribe in Mata, and you were the first person voted out from that swap out of the new swap tribe. So we all saw in the episodes how crushed you were in terms of your exit, because everyone was like, OMG. They were like, oh my gosh, like gay Casey, oh no, like people were acting that way. So how does it feel like rewatching everything and reliving everything as the episodes went on?
It's not bad at all. I mean, this happened so long ago at this point. And like the whole thing with me feeling that way, it wasn't even towards anyone, because that was my first first org period. And I I guess I didn't really think of a scenario in which I actually would go before the merge. So it was more so a disappointment in myself. Nothing towards anyone, because the whole second day you guys were shooting, I mean, I was in the viewing lounge and I was pretty sure Rain had something to do with it, but I was rooting for her the whole time. I think I was the only one in the viewing lounge rooting for Rain, and also Karen as well. So, I mean, that whole thing was just disappointment in myself. And then also, I'm 99% sure that you mess with the edit a bit there, because during my exit interview, you see me just in silence, but I'm 99.9% sure. Who was it? Maddie that was talking to me, and I was just going like this, listening to everything he's saying, and you can even see that. So, I mean, I wasn't sitting in silence like that, so I got to defend myself a little bit. But yeah, it was a disappointment in myself.
Yeah, but even if like it was it was edited in a way that it we made it seem like you were really devastated. But in all fairness, though, the look on your face says a lot. Like you were really, really disappointed. But you pulled off one of the greatest moves the game has seen, planting seeds onto Migs, being the mastermind, or in your own words, the ringleader, and potentially planting everything into the Mata tribe, which sent Migs home as the first boot of the season. So that's something really commendable, and you should be very proud of that case.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. So now we go to our the people, because what's left of our cast is the people who made the merge. Right. So we go from some players who got swap fucked to our players who had a very interesting storyline with our cast. We go to Anthony. Hi Anthony.
Hey, how you doing, James?
We're doing great. So how are you how have you been after like everything, like the season? So I know we shooted the game for since 3 months already. Like it happened in September. So how are you now? How has been things in the US?
Good. Can't complain. Just got a snowstorm the other day.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of chilly right now there, right?
Yeah, we got about 8 inches where I live, so that's a decent amount for my area. But been well.
Right, that's great. So a lot of people have been asking. This is not only for Anthony, but this is for all of the players that are here. Because there was this mysterious merge tribal that happened within the season that hasn't been aired. It wasn't shown at all. And I know that all of you guys know what I have been talking about, because some of the players that are here in this reunion who are pre-merge also got to see it live in our viewing lounge. So uh for for me, I'll be summarizing what happened. This is some merge tribal tea for you guys. So what happened was there has been an argument about conversations that were had before as we went to merge, specifically with Drain and Lee. And it was something about Lee feeling uncomfortable about what Drain said, and it was brought up at Tribal, and things escalated at proportions that were very sensitive, and that has been very uncontrollable, and it went beyond how we expected it to be. I think everyone did not expect it to be to turn out that way, I guess. Um, Especially for the people who have been affected. It is in the best interest of all of the parties, like me, the production, and all of the people who have been involved in that specific tribal or that specific conversation, to be not air it, just so that we're clear of anything. So I just want to ask, like, since Anthony, this that has been your boot episode, so so you were eliminated that trouble. So do you think that that has something to do with um your elimination?
No, no, I think I was going home before tribal. I mean, I think they knew they were voting me out before tribal even happened. I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the players here are nodding their heads, so I guess it was the case. So a lot of
Yeah.
people. I want to ask Rain, because Rain was one of
Yes.
the people who has been
Mhm.
in the center of that merge tribal. So how are you feeling right now? Like after everything that
Well,
happened.
first I want to say that we really were gonna vote for Anthony regardless because I actually saw. I remember Gage and I were talking. Gage, Garrett, and I were talking and thinking who will be the best vote, and I told them Anthony appears to be the leader, and I think I remember clearly Anthony on my confessional when I called you the mafia boss, and I told them that we have, if you want to dismantle the mafia, you start with the boss. So that's how I saw it. So the question, how am I during the past 3 months? Um, I am not okay, James. I am not okay about what happened. It is a long process of healing without actually without invalidating people's feelings. I felt at that time I felt very attacked, and I so disappointed in myself because I wasn't able to say the things that I felt like I shouldn't have said. So during this entire process, I sought help to make me feel better about everything, and I have Jet to thank for that. He has been truly supportive of me during this entire process, as well as some messages from the fans. These fans never really knew what happened, and yet there were some messages of support, and that is something that I treasure. I am a kind of person who would just try to, discuss the bad, you learn from it, and then you move forward with the good. But of course, there are certain issues that would be staying with you for a long time because I know I remember that I revealed so much of myself during that moment, and it broke me to pieces basically. So but I during this entire process I've gotten to meet people who were helping me through it, especially Jet, Gage, Garrett, Stan, Karen. And I just want to give a quick shout out to two members of the viewing lounge. One of them is Dakota, who randomly messaged me yesterday, who taught me and made me understand the importance of Zoomvivor as a platform to tell your story and for representation and visibility. So I would like to thank Dakota for that. And Sasa, because Sasa is a sister, and we have to represent. So yeah, I am getting better, James. That is the quick answer to your question. Yes.
Yes, well, that's good to know. Knowing like how everything unfolded, that has been, I know that has been rough for all of us, really, not most of us, like all of us. Um, uh, so that has been something that was very sensitive, and I hope that um, it's uh, it's something that deserves conversation. Yes,
Mhm.
and it's something that really is something sensitive. But at the same time, we're here to like make people understand what really happened, what happened on all sides, just so that there would be no biases and there would be nothing that's left. There's no stone left unturned in terms of what really happened, just so that we could understand from all sides. But unfortunately, we don't have Lee right now. But I'm sure that he has left messages of support for the success of this season. I think he is with family. He has plans right now. But yeah, I mean, in terms of what happened in that merge tribal, I'm sure that even if it's an ongoing process, to say the least. It's a journey for everyone experiencing very sensitive, uh, very sensitive conversations that transpired during that tribal council. But yeah, I'm sure that it's gonna get better from now.
I will say one thing because I know Lee's not here and I'm not going to speak for him, but I will just say this one thing in his behalf. Um, I know Rain mentioned that she has some support from the audience, and that's great. That's great that people reach out. But it's been the opposite for Lee in terms of audience reaction. I'm not exactly sure because I know there was that little paragraph at the end, so I'm not sure exactly how audience members knew, but some of the messages and stuff, and I'm talking about direct messages he's been getting. You got to keep in mind, man, this kid's 16. So unfortunately, he hasn't had the support of the audience in that way.
Yeah, regarding that, I know I've talked to Lee about it as well, because he's been reaching out about the reactions of the fans, and I think it has been stacking up on him, probably because there has been a lot of negative comments because of him playing that character in the game, which obviously has received negative comments as well from the viewers. I think it's also a matter that he should understand that because he played that character in the game, so he should understand as well the repercussions of it, so how people might receive it. I think it was also a matter of how uh it was a case of people he for example, that he said something that might not be harmful to him, but it wasn't really, but it could be harmful or it could be hurtful for other people to have heard it. So we had a conversation a few days ago, me and Lee, and he acknowledged that he was unaware of how other people might have felt in terms of um the things or the comments that he has been bringing out in terms of the confessionals in the game, specifically like things that he have said to some of the players, like Boris discrediting Boris's bring up Boris's medical degree in terms of his gameplay, uh, other comments to other players, and such as. And yeah, I think we've had that conversation. Me and I have had that conversation, and I think that he has been realizing that there were things that should have been left unsaid in terms of the comments. But yeah, Lee has been doing better, I think, from basing from our conversations, and we've been helping him handle things as uh as we can. So yeah, is there anything else, Anthony? All right. So so for the players who haven't been here, I know that I wish that all of the cast players are here, but yeah, unfortunately for personal reasons, most of you guys will not be. So now we from one sensitive topic to another. There has been some talks about also a lot of subtleties that were mentioned in the game were that kind of felt in terms of somehow discriminatory in terms of some of the players. I felt they because most of the players reached out and they felt like some of the comments or some of the issues or some of the confessionals really were kind of subtly discriminatory. Not specifically. Some of them were, I think, subtly racist or subtly classist or whatever. So we're gonna talk about that a bit. So we'll start off with someone who I know has a lot of things to say about that. And let's now call the attention of Stan. Hi Stan. So I know that you have been someone who's very vocal in terms of the things that has been happening. So, can you walk us through because I know that you have experienced that as well in the game. So how has been that like for you? Like what were your experiences in the game?
Yeah, I'm going to start off by saying that I actually came away from the experience not feeling that there were any microaggressions. And I'm saying this from the lens of someone who's coming from a level of privilege from the Philippine social political standpoint. So I recognize my privilege of being upper middle class, of being a straight, cisgendered, heterosexual male, right? So I think it's really important to recognize that because here in the Philippines, a lot of the viewing community of Survivor, especially the gaming community, is actually LGBTQ plus. So in this community, I'm actually a minority. And I keep that in mind every time I engage with the community because it makes me hyper aware of what I say and how I conduct myself. Right? So I kept that in mind heading into Zoomvivor. And after the experience, I actually didn't feel like there were any microaggressions hurled towards me. But as the episodes went on, I began to see that the Filipino players started getting affected. And that started to bother me, especially because I'd become friends with these people. I'd become friends with Rain, who I already knew heading in, but we weren't close. Like we were barely friends. I didn't know Karen, I didn't know Migs, I didn't know Boris, I didn't know any of these people. But they started getting hurt, and we started forming a support group among ourselves as the Filipino half of the cast where we could express our grievances and have a support system so we can be there for one another because nobody could really identify with what we went through. And that goes for every season of Survivor that's ever been played, whether it's an online game or the actual product we see on TV. So I felt like it was our responsibility to one another to support one another. As an individual, I only really felt this at Final Tribal when I saw how I was being attacked. And don't get me wrong, I've also experienced being a bitter juror, so I know what it's like to wanna raise some hell and throw shit at people, and that's fine. I told myself that I was gonna develop a thick skin once I faced the jury. What I didn't appreciate were allegations that the game was rigged for me, and I didn't appreciate that. It was something that was also brought up in the comment section yesterday in the Zoomvivor reunion question thread that there was allegedly a Final Five pre-game collusion that took place, which I find absurd because I didn't know Karen and Jet and Mads heading into it, so I don't know how that could have happened. So there was that. I also didn't appreciate how Lee came at us and told us that we were not allowed to respond, and he was just gonna berate us. In the moment, I was like, yeah, I have to play the game. I have to take whatever Lee's gonna throw at me and just be a big boy, right? But watching it again was really troublesome. I found myself coaching myself saying, Stan, fight back, clap back. And I didn't do that. Even when Anthony was saying that I was a coward and I tucked my tail between my legs, I wanted so hard to say, but we're playing Survivor. The objective of the game is you play whatever you can to try to stay alive, not roll over and die and let yourself get voted out. That's not the game we're playing, right? So I didn't say those things because I was trying to win votes at Final Tribal. I was still playing the game. But after that, it really felt weird, and it felt really, really uncomfortable to hear that. And I'm not immediately gonna say that it was racist, because to say that would be unfair. but there were a lot of racist undertones, or not racist undertones, but the subject of race was a topic of discussion from the post-merge onward because of the formation of the All-Filipino Alliance. And I acknowledge that in the confessionals, I acknowledge that in the game, and I'm going to acknowledge it here in public at the reunion. And I'm not going to speak for the other members of the All Filipino Alliance. But what I will say was that I joined it because it was a reaction. It was a reaction to the events of the final 11 tribal council where Lee called out all the Americans in his alliance. So I was like, I'm not part of that alliance, so I'm going to jump ship and join the other Filipinos, where, I was part of that group chat and there was a majority there in terms of the numbers, right? But the other Filipinos really felt like there were racist and classist undertones. Comments like Boris's medical school degree being questioned. That was problematic. Comments like, Karen, get a cord because your Wi-Fi is shitty. That was problematic. When you take a look at even the editing, you go from the bedroom of someone like Lee or Anthony, whose backgrounds look, like a nice middle America home, and the background of someone like Karen, whose home embodies a typical Filipino home where everything is crammed together to maximize space. So that touches so many layers of class and race and socio-economic structure that is so hard to unpack. But it's also unavoidable to bring those conversations up because that's part of it. So how do you reconcile all of that and play a character or be yourself or play the game? That shit's difficult and it's an uncomfortable conversation. So I feel like our responsibility as the Filipino players or the ones on this platform is to start the conversation and make people aware that there is conscious and unconscious bias whenever you step into these spaces, whenever you play these games, whether you're playing against Filipinos or people from other countries. These things exist. So yeah.
Right. So from some let's hear from Karen, because I know Karen, you have been receiving a lot of the comments, especially. So reliving that, seeing all of the confessionals. So how does it feel?
Yeah, during the time that we're still playing the game, right after I got the majority votes from Mata, I'm like, okay, so what am I gonna do now? The plan is really to get under the radar and like shun away all the spotlight that's given to me, because it's not my fault that there's a twist in the game. Like, come on, as Survivor fans, you gotta know that these twists are gonna be there, or because this is Zoomvivor Anarchy. But then, like, during the game, I can't still label those things. Like, for example, people talking me down at tribal councils and accusing me of this and that. Like, I get it that it's part of the game. Come on, I get it that you're gonna like throw me under the bus, but to talk me down, something like that, I mean, I can't tolerate it in my regular life. What more in this game? And for other people who doesn't know me, like they just know me in a game. Like, why would I let you do that to me? Like, that's just my my response to that. But as the episodes are being revealed and these confessionals, because after that, like, the Mata people knows this, after each and every tribal we get to laugh about it, and then we get to like make fun of ourselves, because come on, it's good TV and it's part of the game. But as the episodes are being shown, like, I can't help but notice these subtle comments, and like what Stan said, like the microaggressions that were present in the confessionals. Because if it's like a game, like, why would you degrade someone's medical degree? We signed up as players and we should be criticized as players. That's what we signed up for. But to be degraded on a personal level and to be called names such as like Mads being sleepy, like, we did not even get annoyed or be, we did not even complain when Kristen was out there just taking kids, and then when Missy was driving, we did not complain. But why are there double standards in terms of how we behaved when in fact our time zones are different? And to be quite honest with you, we find it quite difficult for us to adjust because the game was held like in an ungodly hour, to be exact. So I just don't know how to feel during that time, especially um during those moments that these confessionals were directed to me, like they want me out. Like I, I mean, I get it that it's part of the game, but for some people who just met me in the merge and then I hear that they are now confessing that they want me out, like I'm just asking like why. And I get it that some of them have explanations and they explained it to me after the game. Like it's okay, it's part of the game. But some other people, they just didn't message, or I don't know, they didn't reach out. So I mean, it's your choice, and I don't know. It's your personal choice not to message the people you know that you have something with in the game. I mean, it's your choice. And as people also who got affected by these, it's also like our choice to, cope up. And a part of that is, the support group we have created, and I'm very thankful for that.
Can I just add something to what Karen said? Because I really appreciate how she brought up that in terms of advantages, the Filipino players were actually at a big disadvantage playing at ungodly hours, number one. And number two, in a language that was actually not our first language. It's not our native language. Not all of us are comfortable and eloquent in expressing ourselves in English. So I feel like that disadvantages a lot of Filipino players, especially for future seasons, and even in the past seasons. You have examples of Greta having a hard time expressing herself, and that's why a lot of her confessionals had subtitles in it. Jeff Mark from our own season couldn't find the words to express his frustration, so he had to say it in his native tongue. So it really goes to show that there is already that disadvantage for the Filipino players heading in. We adjusted already. So when Melissa, for example, commented in the Facebook page of Zoomvivor yesterday that everything seemed to be geared towards us, I found that really hurtful and really unfair and uncalled for, because from the get-go, the game was not rigged in our favor. It was not set up for us to succeed physically and mentally already. It was really exhausting. So I feel like I just have to call that out, because I have to acknowledge that these differences heading into the game played a major factor. And when you're watching it, it's probably not as obvious. It's so easy to say, Karen sounds so droll, her voice is boring, or it sounds so easy to mock a Filipino for not being able to explain their thoughts and ideas in their own confessionals. It's because here in the Philippines, there's also a stigma that if you can't express yourself in English, you're stupid. Bobo ka. That's what we say in Tagalog.
Stan, you're muted.
We say in Tagalog, bobo ka if you can't express yourself in English. So that has to be put out there, that there is also societal bias, and that is an unconscious bias that I'm bringing up as well. So there, that just has to be laid out on the table for additional context.
All right. So
as far as can I say something, James? As far as the rigging, when I asked Stan, when I asked you at Tribal, did your advantage say on there you're safe from rocks? That was a valid question. I just wanted to know. Okay. I know it didn't. I know you cleared it with James that it was okay, all that. But I just wanted to know, because beforehand, when everybody's like, I'm going to rocks for my person, I'm going to rocks, Rain even acknowledged it. She's like, look, I'm safe right now. So it's easy for me to say I'm going to rocks. You know, for you to be like, okay, rocks, and then you know you're safe when your advantage didn't say rocks. I just wanted to clear that up. That's why I asked that. As far as, I think, you know, when Boris was voted out and then he was able to give his advantage to Karen, I didn't think that was fair either. When, you know, so there was a couple elements there. I'm going, that don't seem right, because when the night I got, the tribal I got voted out, Lee had won an advantage. Lee really thought he was going. And I was like, dude, it's me. Before we got to talk, he you got to remember, this was like 15 minutes of game time. Who do we give it to? He gave it to me. I said, dude, I think I'm going. It's near you. Let's bring Lauren in. We had to give it to Lauren. So we all cleared this with James. You know, James, you could have easily said, hey, I'm allowing you guys to give it after the vote. That wasn't done. So, yeah, there was a little bit in the back of my mind like, that don't seem fair. And I don't know who did. It certainly wasn't me. I don't know who made fun of a Filipino confessional with the language barrier or anything like that. The Wi-Fi cord joke had nothing to do with somebody in the Philippines or not. So when James just went out, somebody cracked a joke. I guess he's the recipient of the Wi-Fi charity from Rain. Now, was that racist? It was a joke. See, here in the racist undertone, everybody, I got a black buddy. I got a 23-year-old daughter that's half black. I'd kill anybody 10 times over for her. I love her to death. She's my flesh and blood. So take that racist card somewhere else. On the other hand, I do have old Italian relatives straight off the boat that are as racist as the night is long. So you don't have to really look and search for racism. It's there. It's everywhere. So if somebody says something, you can't automatically, you can't jump racism. That's not fair.
Anthony,
If I might, can I say
Anthony,
something?
may I address? Yes, I really want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Boris.
Anthony, I've been listening really to what you have been saying, and I know that what you are feeling about it is valid. But first about the advantage, about this, I'll address them one by one. The chaos advantage that I gifted Karen to. You're mentioning that you weren't aware that advantages were going to be gifted when could be passed on when players were voted off. I was also not aware of that rule. But given that I was not aware of that rule, I also assumed that if anyone else had an advantage, they could have passed it on. It's something that's decided by production, and it's something that I mean, the way I play, I always assume good faith in production. First off, that's that, and second, I know that we weren't saying that you were being intentional in being racist with the jokes about the chords or being classist about it, but this is why we are having this conversation to discuss these microaggressions, because these microaggressions, they can be subconscious. They can be something that we don't mean to say at all. But just because you're not conscious, that's just because it's not intentional, it doesn't mean that it already is harmless or it's already not painful for people who get affected. And then uh yun second, and then third, just because there are people who are more stereotypically racist, it doesn't mean that the conversation has to stop there. There's a reason why these topics are being brought up. It's not for us to attack, or it's not for us to make it a Filipino versus an American thing. It's for us to have an open conversation about it, because yes, you're saying that we didn't mean to. It wasn't something that's intentional. But just because you didn't mean to doesn't mean that we weren't affected. I was personally affected, and a lot of the other Filipinos were personally affected as well. So saying that you didn't mean to, it's really not enough to assuage what we felt, because that's what our experience was, and it's something that we hope that you also get the respect. Rain, you were gonna say something.
No, I just want to say first that nobody in this cast is calling anybody a racist.
Yes.
But what I could tell you is that there were hurt feelings in there. I don't agree that racism is always obvious. Sometimes it takes you a long, long time to figure out that it was there. I'm not saying that some of you guys, were attacking us on a racial point of view. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say that it was intentional. But actually, when I was still in the game, I wasn't really receiving much of the microaggressions race based. In fact, what I thought was bullying. But right after watching it, episode after episode,
Yeah.
I feel the hurt, and I couldn't just label it, because I see people who have a different color of skin than I am, who purposefully attack other people of my color without just, I mean, it was very, very selective. It's just these people to be insulted. We're not going to work with these people. We're going to vote these people. And it's
Yes.
so hard to put a label on it. We didn't immediately jump to racism, and we didn't immediately
Yeah.
accuse people of racism. This is why we're actually putting it out there, because perhaps there are things that has been said that we don't realize could be put that way.
Yeah.
Just in the same way that during that merged tribal council where I was accused as a sexual predator, all I did was to apologize. Nobody even learned my side, heard my side. When from my point of view, if that is a woman who said that, it's easy to pass it off as anything. But since it's I who said that, it's easy, it's quick to call it sexual predation when it really was a nothing comment. But then again, I did what is I thought the best thing, which is to actually acknowledge these feelings, apologize for it, and take note that next time these are the words that you shouldn't be saying
Saying.
in social situations like this. In much
Yeah.
the same way, that is how some other Filipinos felt during the game. These are the feelings that we are feeling, and we are looking for some validation towards it. I'm not putting a blanket statement out there that the Americans that I've played with are racist. That's not that's not what we are saying. But what we are trying to do right now is to putting forward what we have felt in the game, what we observed, and we're hoping that we learn from it. This is not a fight. This is us trying to bridge the conversation. So, this is, again, these are two different cultures that we have here. And a lot of these things will be misinterpreted.
And I'm not, I just want to go back to one thing. If I said that, I didn't mean to say that racism is always clear. It's clear in a lot. My point was a lot of my family members, they make it very clear that, this, they don't want no part of. My point was, sometimes if this is a learning, we want to learn from each other. America, Filipino, obviously, maybe different cultures, different tendencies, stuff like that. In America here, the org that me and Lauren and Lee and Melissa were just in, I mean, some of the things that were said in that org, we just took it as people were being a little aggressive and stuff like that. They wouldn't fly in this org. And I don't think there was no racism. I'm not talking about that type of stuff. I'm just talking about maybe being aggressive and talking about that person and, in your confessional, poking fun at somebody. That was kind of like, kind of what everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people did. We didn't take it as he's being aggressive towards me. As far as, us, I guess it was brought up that I don't want anybody to think that we throw Karen off because she was Filipino. That had nothing to do with it. I hope Boris can attest to this. I tried to work with Boris quite a few times, because I wanted to work with him. Had nothing to do with him being Filipino either. It's just a guy the way he came at me, I got a good vibe with. That was it. I just want to say one more thing about the Lee situation. Rain, when all that happened, you didn't just apologize and say, I'm sorry for that, Lee. He was getting attacked because of the way he brought it up, whether valid or not. He was getting attacked, and I just thought, wait a minute, because you just said if the roles were reversed, and I thought the same exact thing, actually, Rain. If me, cause I'm the old guy here, basically, I'm almost 42. If I talk to a 15, 16-year-old girl like texting like that on there, they would have got very upset at me. You know what I mean? So I don't think it should have been any different. I don't think he should have been attacked for bringing it up.
Well, I didn't feel that I was attacking him. I feel like I was defending myself. You have to understand that the conversation between Lee and myself happened the day before, and he raised it after I called out your Paul on the first question of the merged tribal council. Of course, we are also, you have to put everything in context that we are playing a game. Again, I understand what you're trying to say, Anthony, that if you, as a white cisgender man, hetero man, talks to a 16-year-old, it is different because you are coming from a place of privilege. Please acknowledge your privilege. I am a trans person of color. It is a different situation for the two of us because it's easy to call me anything simply because I am an oppressed class, just by mere existence. And that is where I was coming from. That's where the hurt is coming from. It's easy to call a person who is a queer person, automatically you see a queer person, you sexualize them. Every action that they do always has a glaze of sexuality when that is not who we are. We are people too. That is where I'm coming from. Why is it easy to make any statement of mine a sexual predatory attack simply because I am a trans person? Simply because I was queer. That is why my reaction to that was defense. That is why my reaction to that event was that I shared to you, all of you, and now everyone who is watching this, that I too was a victim of abuse and I can see what abuse is. And I will be the first person to tell Lee, no, I will protect you from it. But instead, since we are playing a game, I felt like it was put in a context to use that against me. Had it been addressed outside of tribal council, where there was a conversation between me, Lee, the host, before that tribal council, I would have said, you know what, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But still, it was addressed during the merge, and I had to apologize too. Right after the game ended, I did what the right thing to do, gracefully, with graciousness. I talked to you, Anthony. I talked to Lee. I gave my apologies because that is what we should be doing. But please do not deny the feelings that we felt during the merged tribal council and during all of the confessionals that we've heard. That's why we're having this reunion, because we are letting you know these are the feelings that we felt, and we are trying to label them as whatever, because the first step to actually healing is to understand what truly happened. And I'm glad that we're having this conversation, and I'm glad that I have this platform, because as a person of as a queer person, I go out on the street, I walk out on the street, all I get is harassment just by mere existence. I am immediately branded as a bad person, as someone who is immoral. And then I go to this game, and on the merged tribal council, it is an important tribal council, the timing to me was off. And I go back again and again to that conversation that I had with him, and the way that he is phrasing it, the way that he retells it, with even now adding smileys to it adds malice to his intent. This is why I was hurting. Until today, I am hurting. Because up to this day, I feel like I have to defend my character, not just as a queer person, but also as a Filipino. Because all of this time, I felt like I am faulted because of those two facts, where I shouldn't be. I should be proud because that's who I am. And that's why we are coming here to you now, not calling you out as racist or transphobic. No. What we're telling you is now, let us be sensitive to one another. Because sometimes, you know what, you can call us out too. Maybe we may have said something wrong. Garrett and I had that conversation, a very heated conversation, I might add. But we had that conversation. We don't just bolt out of our group chat, leaving everyone feeling salty about the situation. And this is why there's tension. And I don't want that. I want to have a happy season. I want to have a happy cast. But we never had that opportunity because I don't know what happened in our GC, but we need to have these conversations. Not just for us, but when we go out there in the real world, we now know how to deal with other people.
I'm gonna add something to what Rain said, because I was deeply hurt when Melissa said in the comment section yesterday that there are people playing victim, and that people were trying to make themselves look good by playing victim. And I'm going to acknowledge flat out that we Filipinos have a very complicated relationship with racism. I'm not going to speak about any of the trans person point of view, because that's something I can't ever understand fully. But what I will speak about is the race factor, because even here in the Philippines, we're very racist. I am a Chinese Filipino. I don't look like 99% of the Filipino people. And there are undertones that are hurled at me because of how I look, because of my ethnicity. But even then, even us as Filipinos, we're very prone to making assumptions about other ethnicities, about white people, about brown people, about black people of different colors, just because we're not as educated and not as informed as we'd like to be. And that's something that needs to be acknowledged as well. So I'm not saying that we Filipinos are perfect, that we're paragons of sensitivity. We're not. We have a long way to go. But the way that we're talking about it right now, the way that we're bringing it to the table, acknowledging these conscious and unconscious biases, is a step in the direction that we need to take. Because if we continue to ignore these things, then we're going to keep being in these spaces where we make each other feel uncomfortable and unsafe. And I come from a perspective where Survivor is fun. It's gotten me through a lot of dark shit in my life. And I turned to Survivor just to have fun, to put a smile on my face. The fucking pandemic ruined my livelihood this year. And I turned to Zoomvivor to fucking give myself a break. And when there's tension and when there's so much unpleasantness, it hurts. It hurts regardless of my demographic, regardless of your demographic. I'm sure that the unpleasantness has festered everywhere. So I think that really should be having these conversations because we're not singling people out and tagging them as racists or as transphobes and whatnot. We're saying that these biases exist and that they inform our points of view, they inform our actions, and they inform our words.
Hello. Okay. Can I button? Um. Anyway, basically, as someone who's been a part, I think, of this narrative, first I would like to acknowledge that Anthony, thank you so much for being here and thank you so much for andito ka pa ba? Are you still here? Ay, ayan. Anthony, thank you so much for staying in this conversation. I really appreciate just for you to keeping engaged and listening. That's really a big step. As I see it, it's a big step for us to really have this conversation. I think the reason that we're even having this in the first place is we in hmm, the Filipino groups, we just recognize how it went for us and how it happened, and it doesn't mean that we would like to, you know, label people and discredit, cancel, or anything of sort. Because in the end, the reason that we bringing it up is for this experience to be acknowledged and for this experience to just be recognized even. And I think it's something that we cannot really address with a simple and a single conversation, because it's something that it's bigger than us. Okay, me as a personally, I don't think it's something that I can even be uh, it's not something that I can even um address to other people myself, because if it's something about race, class, or any other identity, sex, gender, age, it's not easy to reconcile with. It's not it's something that go with us. And the point is, I think a lot of people have been affected, and we and the first thing that I think the first part for healing, and the first part of healing, is just recognition, acknowledgement, and being heard, because that's the best thing that we can do. So at the same time, um I just want to echo. I just want to echo how the experiences are valid, but it's not um but it's not to the point that it's about labeling, discrediting, or canceling anyone. Because in the end, I think the very essence of having a community like this is we get to learn from each other. We get to experience different culture, different experiences, different conversations from people of different background, and it will not be limited to us here in the Zoomvivor with Filipino and Americans. But of course, there are other org communities wherein we can engage with people from different backgrounds, from different identities that they may be coming from. And maybe the one thing that I would like to share for everyone here is that we have different perspectives, we have different lives, we have different ways of seeing things. And the very basic thing that we can do for everyone that we encounter is just having radical empathy. That when we come to this difficult or universal pain that we're experiencing, hopefully the best thing that we can do is just to understand where the other person is coming from, regardless if it hurts us or if it's hurting us. Like, I have to recognize the validity of my experience, but at the same time, I really hope that you can also understand the experiences that my fellow Filipinos here are sharing. And just having radical empathy, it's I think that's the best thing that we can come out of from this discussion. And finding that despite these differences, we have something in common that brought us here in the first place. And I hope we can go back to that and realize how we can move forward, how we can acknowledge first, how we can be part of the healing process of people who've been hurt. And hopefully we can mend the relationships that have been affected, and the people who have been affected by this circumstance.
All right. So before we continue any further, I just want to say that this reunion is not in any way meant to directly attack anyone. This is not meant for us to
Oh, yeah.
be to call out any person from this cast nor the production. The production doesn't want that. This is just a platform. This we saw this as an opportunity to use this platform of Zoomvivor to be a place of conversation, because I know that even with outside even of Zoomvivor, racism exists, classism exists, and whatever subtleties and microaggressions exist even in real Survivor. um these things exist everywhere, and I think this is a great opportunity for us to just touch base on whatever that has been happening, the subtleties, the microaggressions, the feelings that were felt. I mean, we're acknowledging everything at this point because we just want because I know that there were a lot of pent up feelings in terms of the reunion and the season as it went on, and we just want a sense of closure in terms of the season, just so that we could end the year, um even just end 2020 on a good note, on a sense that we all get to find a sense of resolution on all of the things that
Oh,
we
yeah.
feel or what we experienced in terms of the game, not only in the game but in life. Yeah, this is not discrediting anyone, okay? So this is not discrediting anyone's feelings. This is not production is not in any way biased in terms of whatever. We just want to clear that up. Zoomvivor is never tolerant of riggery. We will not in any way rig the game for anyone, just so we're clear. The things that happened during the season were planted, they were planned. In terms of stands, tyranny advantage, we cleared that up that it was gonna be valid in terms of once rocks happen, and in terms of Boris bequeathing his advantage, it was talked on before even before Boris got voted out, that he can bequeath it when if ever he gets voted out with that advantage. And yeah, this I just want to acknowledge that uh this this is something that is very sensitive, I know, for a lot of, not only for the Filipinos but also for Americans, minorities, and everyone is who is in here. So I just want to touch base on, I just want to know how this player feels, like Lauren. So hearing everything all of the conversations that have happened, like where is your head at in terms of the state of which like these feelings that were felt and everything that has happened or transpired during the season?
Hey guys. Yeah, specifically why I definitely wanted to come today is I saw in the comment section how a bunch of people were feeling, and I definitely wanted to be here to hear everyone out and just learn and know where everyone was coming from and how people were truthfully feeling, and just for me to be able to educate myself on what could have been said and how people truly feel. And I do want to say for me personally, I know I was very vocal in the game at tribal councils and everything. And if I hurt anyone with my words, I would like to come out and apologize for it. I know that the way I play these games, sometimes I speak vocally, but it's not by any shape or form an attack on you as an individual. That's how I play the game, in the sense of I want to come out. I was there to create chaos and everything. But if I said something that personally hurt you, I apologize for that. I'm not sure if I did. I don't believe I did so, but I would like to know if I truly hurt anyone specifically, because I want to actually apologize directly to that person. So if anyone wants to unmute or have a conversation with me, I would love to have that conversation with you.
Honestly, I appreciate you being here, Lauren, and saying what you said. You didn't hurt me. I wasn't affected in particular, but you going out of your way to apologize here in this forum means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, just the fact that you guys are here attending it means so much to me personally. Although I never felt personally attacked by Lauren, but I just felt that some of her confessionals maybe, went overboard. But well, they were directed at me. We never really had a relationship in the game. But what I could tell you is that I just appreciate you for being here and saying that. And likewise, if you feel like we may have said something that could have offended you, let us know
Yeah.
too, because
Yeah,
that's how we learn from each other.
yes. After all, Zoomvivor is a platform for us to really just have a conversation and just be open about everything. I mean, it's all in the spirit of the game, but also as well, it's also appreciative for us to have these kinds of conversation just so that we are in touch with the ourselves as individuals, as players, and as people in real life. But thank you so much, Lauren. I mean, um, I you have been very yes. I you have been one of the more vocal players, to say the least. Yes, to say the least, you have been one of the more vocal players, and yes, you have been very, very for a lack of a better term, let's say feisty. Yes, very feisty in terms of your confessionals, and we really like that in terms of I mean, like in terms of the production
Yeah.
point of view. Yes, we want that. I mean, it's always like great. But just for the audience and the players here, I've known Lauren since early this year. We've been playing. We've played in an or on a mini, and I've known her since. And yeah, I kind of will back her on that she does really play like that, and she's very feisty when she needs to be, because I've known Lauren for a few months now, and I mean, she's very sweet. She's a sweet person outside of the game, but inside the game, like she's someone you don't want to really mess with, because she's a fireball. Like her moniker fits her perfectly, being the Spitfire of the season. And yes, but in terms of you wanting to know the people who may have been hurt, or who may have felt a certain way about what have we said, I think there were some people. I mean, I think it was something about Jet being called stupid in terms of one in a certain tribal council. I think it has been brought up to production, and I think Jet, do you wanna clarify that, or do you wanna?
Um, well, initially at first, I did feel a bit attacked, but then in that situation, I really just contextualize it to the. I really just want to try and contextualize it more to the idea and to give Lauren the benefit of the doubt that it was part of the game. Um, and I guess I just um, oh,
Okay, okay. I think Jet is having a hard time processing his thoughts, but I know that in behalf of I think it was in the spirit of the game. Yes, I believe that Lauren had said those things in the spirit of the game because of pure uh the pureness of the flow of the game, because I understand that it was said during your tribal council where you got voted off. I think you were saying things out of things that you want to throw out just so that um you will get to uh you will get to persuade people in a way that would side with you, I guess. And that's
So,
understandable because
James, this is why every after, Zoomvivor or any game is a stressful situation.
yes,
And any stress after every stressful situation, you should have a post-mortem discussion of what just happened, so you could actually compartmentalize the emotions and you can identify what really happened in the game. So it's easier to move past it. I guess we never had that moment, all of us. That's
yeah,
why the feelings that we have extended to 3 months. And I'm just glad that we're having it because
yes,
it's quick. It's now easier to identify which were, game
we
moves,
sure felt yeah, yeah, yeah.
which were personal, which do we apologize for, which do we learn from. And I'm
Yeah,
glad that we're having this conversation. And I'm happy that, people are here.
yes, I mean this is one thing.
Can I chime in real quick?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, just real quick. I know Jet's camera's off or anything, and Jet, if I made you feel any way, shape, or form that I hurt you, I want to directly apologize to you. Everything I said at those tribal councils where I was fiery, it was all gameplay. I was talking about people's games. I wasn't talking about how they are as people outside of that. I even expressed at a tribal council after I was really fiery and everything, and saying that I came into the game to meet people that have different backgrounds other than myself and to get to experience different cultures and get to know people on a different level. That's why I play these games, to get to interact with various different types of people. And I do want to go out and say, obviously, people are against each other throughout the game, but Leela was somebody that I had a connection with in the game and everything, and it was really nice to meet her. And I know Karen and I were against each other basically the entire time, but we were still messaging with each other, even though she probably knew I was voting for her. So I just want to specifically say, anything I said was absolutely game related. I have the highest respect for everyone, and that's all I have to say. So
All
that's
right.
it.
and I really did acknowledge that even when you said it during when we were in what do you call that when you're in the island when you get voted out? Was
Ponderosa.
yeah,
Ponderosa.
Ponderosa there. As soon as I entered Ponderosa, Lauren already said, I really apologize. And it was just part of the game. And the reason why I accepted it is because I did feel it was genuine. And I really wanted to believe that it was part of the game. But it wasn't that Lauren negatively affected me, but I feel like it's more of a personal thing, or I don't know if I'm oversensitive or whatever, or yeah. But I think it's just that certain parts of the game um, touch on different aspects of my insecurities and fears. And I wanted to explain that the reason as to why I was so quiet and I wasn't talking to anyone in the game is like it just really hit so many different nerves. And that's why I really latched on to Leela. Like I really just needed someone new who I felt like was like who wasn't playing a character who felt like I could trust. Parang I need to process what's happening game by game because like this whole environment is completely new to me and it's super stressful. And I like yeah. And yeah, yeah. But like
All right. So if they wanna finish what you're saying, good.
like I really I think I'm still trying to process how everything that happened is just a game. Like
Yes.
it's just a game. Like it shouldn't like as much as it touched on different insecurities of mine or touched on different wounds of mine. Like I'm trying to remind myself it's just a game. And
Right. So
sorry, I yeah.
sure, sure.
I love you, Jet. Yes.
I mean,
We
from
love you, Jet.
Hey, shout out to Jet who led the group processing for the
Yeah.
Filipino half of the cast. He really did a good job of helping us parse through our feelings and helping us
I
process all this
know.
shit.
being
So Jet, you're the fucking MVP, man.
right. So thank you so much.
I just want to say na para, like I don't have any ill feelings towards other people. If I'm not talking to you or if you feel like I closed you off in the game, it was really more of a personal response of distancing myself from the stress and the difficulty. Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
I know Rain brought up that she felt a bit cut off, but yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I know that this is something sensitive, and I know that these are things that are very, very um, uncommon in terms of normal conversation. But here in Zoomvivor, we, of course, we want to uphold a sense of unity and diversity among everyone, especially within the cast, and 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 know that Zoomvivor is with you guys in terms of upholding all of those values, in terms of being equal, in terms of whatever. And we're glad that we're having these kinds of conversations because these open doors um to just better tolerance in terms of differences and being individuals per se, no matter if you're American or if you're Filipino or if you're in a cisgender man, just cisgender woman or a queer person. So it's something that deserves conversation at this point because it has been brought up. But know that this is in no other this is never intention to be an attack on someone. This is uh always has been a neutral space. Zoomvivor will always be a neutral space and it will always be a platform for conversation for us everyone around the world really. Not only for Filipinos, not only for Americans, but for anyone really who have been really who have felt things or in the spirit of the game have experienced things that might have not or might should not have experienced in the game. But we are in the spirit of this season. We want things to end on a good note. So if ever we have there are players or members of the cast who want to say anything before we move on, now is the time to do so. Don't play any idols. No advantages, Karen. Please don't play any advantages right now. So if there's anyone who want to say anything before we move on, that this would be the perfect time.
We're cool. Drop by on Zoom sometime. Let's play werewolf.
Yes, I mean
Yeah.
um yes, we Filipinos are very cordial. We're very welcoming. But I hope that everyone here, not only the people here, the Americans here, like Gage, Jarrett, Lauren, Missy, Anthony, um, everyone really who has been watching this or who will be watching this after this live stream has ended that Survivor is a safe place, always has been, always will be, and we will be continuing to uphold that for the future seasons to come. Right? All right. So if there's nothing else to be talked about that, we are going to the questions of the fans. Okay. So we're going to the questions of the fans. So we're gonna start with a question from the Philippines, and that question will be for Karen. Karen, hi Karen. Karen, the question is
Am I gonna be the first boot again?
no. Yeah, we don't want that. I mean, it didn't happen. If the people here in the reunion wants to, then we might. But the question for you is what's been like being the charisma of the season?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. It's like it's like I feel like it's like a milestone to set a record for Zoomvivor that actually I think no one could, surpass even if seasons seasons will go through. But yeah, it's kind of nerve wracking. And actually, when I told Rain that, hey, I just want to be in the DVD cover and that I was in the final six, I was like, I feel like every vote that has been cast against me was worth it because I made it to the DVD cover. And I even made it to F5, so that's a bonus.
Congratulations, Karen. Actually, somebody asked me, why did I not vote you out? I said, because she's taking all the votes. Why? Why should I vote her out? Congratulations on your record.
Yes, congratulations, Karen. This is a question for all of you guys. So, among show of hands, who among you guys thought of making a fake idol and playing one for someone else? Leela, really? Leela? Who else? Who else? Show of hands, show of hands. Raise your hands, guys, if you thought of making a fake idol and possibly playing one for someone else or giving it to someone else even.
Not making a fake idol, but I thought about using my pre-merge idol that I didn't use as like a fake idol down the line.
Okay, so we have four. Yeah, Casey, go.
Before the game even started, that was my plan. The second you sent me the Zoomvivor rulebook and it talked about fake idols, I said, that's my fucking plan. I'm going to make one by the time I'm done the pre-merge, and I hope to give it to someone in the merge, but it didn't happen. So, but that was my plan.
How about you, Leela?
I also thought about it like when I saw it in the guidelines for the game, and then I think I mentioned it to, when was that? I started mentioning it to Rain, and I think Jet, or I don't know, but I mentioned it to someone, but that was nearing to my boot app, and I was thinking in giving that to Karen if ever. Because I wanted Karen out that time. So sorry, girl. I love you, but I wanted you out because you had a good game. So yeah, but that was my plan. But I never got to play it. So
Okay, so another question for everyone. Show of hands. Did any one of you guys play while intoxicated during the game?
Ooh, Garrett.
Game.
Okay,
Let's go, Garrett.
I got a little bit buzzed the first day, just a little bit. So I watched Z3, and we had Teacher Deb drinking whiskey. We had Matt putting vodka in his flip cups. I thought this was a
Dude,
thing.
Matt was getting high as a kite.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he was taking bong hits during it. So I was just seeing all this, like, okay, people are gonna be drinking. So I bring my Natterdays, and I'm sipping. I'm like, am I the only one? So throughout the first day, I had like maybe 5, but it was like an 8-hour period. So I really wasn't feeling it too much. And then the second day I came to play instead because I was like, okay, nobody's doing this.
And then you got voted out.
Aww.
No shade intended. But anyway.
Urin in the corner.
This is a question for all of the Mata OG people. This is a question for all of the Mata people. what is it about Karen's voice that was annoying?
That
Did anyone
question doesn't apply to me.
did
You're gonna
anyone
have to look
find
at
Karen's
I
voice
guess Lauren or
annoying?
Anthony.
If
I never said that, so
That was Lee that
listen,
said
It
listen.
was
that.
Lee. It was Lee.
it
But
was
I'd
Lee, I
have to
think.
agree with Lee.
oh,
Listen,
why is it annoying?
listen. After the Karen, those Mana tribal councils, I'm sorry, were hilarious.
Yeah.
They were so funny because we would all argue and fight with each other, and then directly afterwards we would laugh about it.
Yes, that
You
was
like that, James? You like that, James?
for the audience, that for the people who have been watching this live stream. That's what's most interesting about the Mata tribe, because they stand for order and they never ever have in order at all. Streamers, they were never in order. And after each tribal councils where everyone just blindsides each other and everyone just lies to each other straight up, they will just talk about it and just laugh about it right afterwards. That's like nothing really happened. It was like so baffling to me as a host, and it was just so confusing. Like, why are these people friends? Like, I'm just trying so hard to understand. Like, why does these people try? I mean, even hold the conversation together. Where in fact, like everyone lied about the 6-1 vote in terms of like the tribal council. Like everyone said that it's gonna be a 6-1 vote, and the vote said otherwise. And everyone was like, "Oh, this happened, and this happened, this happened." And we're like, my head as a host just exploded. And like I left. I mean, I left that Zoom call for a minute. I smoked a cigarette after that. And that was so much to process. That's why it took so long. That's why Mads had to go to take a nap. That's the reason why it took so long. And that's just, I mean, that's just so crazy. I mean, that's just pure anarchy.
James, I have a question for you though.
Sure.
No, because I remember I was talking to Matt, Stan, and Karen about this, and I thought that I before every game, I think I might have drank like 2 pots of coffee for every night that we play.
Sure.
And I told them that maybe for the next season you would adjust it to a different time zone if the Filipinos are probably gonna get it. We're gonna play it on prime time, and Gage will probably play it like 2 a.m. his time. It's yeah, I mean, like maybe that could be an interesting way to do it, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean, regards to future seasons, we'll get to that in a bit. I'll be discussing things about the future seasons, in terms of the time zones and stuff, because a lot of the things, there's a lot of things to be talked about. I mean, one of the things that should be talked about are the bloopers that we have had in the entire season. I mean,
Go
there has
means.
been a lot of there has been a lot of mishaps. There has been a lot of things that were mistakenly said, or that there are lots of mishaps from all of the players here in Anarchy. Not only in the game, but our in the confessionals as well. And I think out of everyone in the game, one player has been the most memorable in terms of these kinds of bloopers. Let's take a look.
Okay, so whenever you're ready,
Okay. Oh my God, wait. Wait lang.
go lang, go lang.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Lila Ray. Wait, full name ba? Hi,
No,
my name is
Lila
Lila
lang.
Ray.
Lila lang.
Lila. Okay. Hi, my name is Lila. I'm 21 years old. And so I am a junior art director in an advertising agency. I joined the game and I really don't have any expectations. I'm expecting that it was just going to be a chill gameplay too, like season 3. But mostly I just wanted to join the game because I wanted to try something in this quarantine.
All right.
Writing his name in the What do you call
Why
that?
does it keep going,
Parchment.
James?
In the parchment. Wait lang, sorry, wait. Let me...
James!
Nabusan ako English, wait lang.
Go lang, go lang. No problem.
Okay, wait. Yeah, that's it. Namimiss ko na yun.
Nalito ka na.
Nalito na ako. And me? Or, yeah, that I wanted to vote out Missy. But I think I did vote out Missy. Did I vote out Missy? Was Missy my vote? Or, no, Anthony, but...
Lee was your vote.
Oh my God, he was my vote?
Yes. It was 9 votes Anthony, 3 votes Lee, 2 votes Missy. Kalat mo bumoto. Yung totoo.
Actually.
James, what the hell?
So, Lila.
Are you intoxicated, Lila?
I think Lila was the one drinking, not Garrett.
Yeah.
You know, weed's illegal here, right?
Out of all of the players, you were the most confused. You didn't know who you voted for.
No, I don't
You
remember.
You didn't even know the parchment, like what it's called, like ano tawag doon? Like you didn't even know what it was. Like it was so adorable and was so
Oh
fun.
my God.
Like how did you feel upon watching yourself play the game and watching yourself in the confessionals? How does it feel?
Watching yourself drawing on your face.
I'm just curious, why did you have to put that in? I don't know. But I don't know. I was just so until now I'm still confused. No, that's a lie. But I'm a bit well versed naman na in Zoomvivor terms. Like I know FTC, I know FTC. Yeah. I don't know what to say most of the time, and I even told I told Leagues that I was going to be okay, I'm gonna try to be what do you call that, I'm not gonna play nice in my confessionals, but then I just did. I kept laughing because I didn't know what to say. Like I don't have a script or anything. My only goal was to put as many Hamilton quotes lines as I can in my confessional. I was just trying to have fun with it.
But did you get that done?
I don't know, James didn't include some of the confessionals, but
I mean, there weren't a lot. There weren't a lot of.
Yeah, there weren't a lot naman.
There were none. There were 0, Lila.
No, I have like I guess 6 or something, but I wrote it down. Like I didn't even write a script for all the things that happened in Zoomvivor because I completely forgot about it.
Okay, so Lila, being a friend of someone who was an alumni of Zoomvivor 3, which is Jamie, who finished first runner-up in Zoomvivor No Borders, and being a friend of hers, it actually sparked a lot of talks that you were in layman's terms at TNK, which is for translation is tuta ng kano in English, which is a lapdog for the Americans. So how did that make you feel? I mean, because it was shown in the episodes, it was very apparent that you were very pushing hard for jury management, which looked to the Filipinos as someone who was very dangerous, number one, and number two, who was pleasing the Americans who are in the jury. So, how does that make you feel upon watching everything went by?
Well, I mean, first of all, I wasn't pleasing just the Americans. I was pleasing everyone. I was trying to be a friend to everyone, but most of the time it's because it's the Americans who were kind of like the one being pushed aside because they were the ones who weren't talking to some of the Filipinos or something like that. That's why it looked like I was more for the Americans, but I was really for everyone. I wanted to be friends with everyone, and I wanted to look good in everyone. That's why And I guess I don't know, TNK, it means Team New Kids, right? I don't know where you got the
Yes.
term.
Stop it with the
Team
fake
Kano. I
news.
mean,
That's
I don't know.
fake news.
Yes.
New Kid. I don't
That's
know
what
anything
helps
from
you
Team New Kids.
Survivor.
Team New
So I don't know
Kids.
where you got it. So
Okay, so
When did you start working for Fox News, Leela?
so, so whether it's Team New Kids or Tuta ng Kano, so it's sure that Lila Ray has been a very memorable member of Zoomvivor Anarchy, and we can't wait for you to play again if ever you accept our invite. We'll see how it goes. Maybe you'll be a Tuta ng Pinoy. We may never know, but that's something we have to find out. But speaking of things that we have to find out, there are lots of things that we should be excited about Zoomvivor in terms of a whole, because we just ended Zoomvivor 4. Now we're opening our doors for a new season. Of course, a lot of things will be happening in the future as we end Zoomvivor 4, and with Zoomvivor 5, we're very very excited of releasing finally the official theme of Survivor 5. You guys ready? Yes. All right. So without further ado, this is the theme of Survivor 5. You guys enjoy. All right, so with that, we launch our official theme for Zoomvivor 5, which is Zoomvivor Pangea. So with that, we're very excited for the seasons to come, especially this season, because it'll feature a lot of new twists, new changes to the game that will really shake up how we see Zoomvivor. So I know that the Survivor Anarchy cast are very excited to see this, and I hope that the people who are watching our live stream right now are very excited, because this is something that will happen on the first quarter of 2021. So we're very excited for us to hold this, because this is first in Survivor wherein we will be accepting all applications across the globe. So if there are people who wants to apply who hasn't applied yet, feel free to apply on our Zoomvivor page. The link is right there. And feel free to just check out our episodes if you're unsure on how it goes. But uh, you might not rely on whatever you watch, because you might throw that out of the window, because we threw in some Easter eggs about the changes that will happen on season 5 in terms of gameplay. So we'll never know what will happen, but we're very excited. And I know that the people who have watched our theme reveal are excited. And yeah, we'll see. Will there be new TNKs? Will there be new people who will
Ooh, let's go,
will there be
Latinos. Char.
will there be another all Filipino alliance? Will there be an all nationality alliance? We shall see. But one thing is for sure, we're very, very, very excited about how Zoomvivor is gonna shape up in the future. And this is all thanks to how progressive Zoomvivor is from season 3 and especially season 4. So we would like to thank everyone, especially the cast and production, for that. And yeah, so thank you so much again to everyone. And I hope this reunion is finds you in a sense of closure and in a sense of peace in terms of how we want to end the year with a good ending. All right, so
James,
from
can I say something real quick?
sure.
I just saw some comments on the Facebook page asking why I'm in sleepwear, and I just want to say I'm busting out
Out,
my Hugh
out.
Hefner pajamas because we're putting this fucking season to bed. What up?
Well, that one thing's for sure. We're really putting this season to sleep. But once again, we wanna congratulate our winner from our season 4, Rain. Well
Thank
deserved.
you.
Hey,
Thank you so
congrats,
Hey, congrats.
Rain.
Let me
Congrats,
just
Queen.
thank you. Let me just take this moment to say thank you first to everyone that I have played with, all and the 7 people who voted for me. Those 3 who
Yeah.
didn't, it's fine. I also want to say thank you to Mads and Stan because you made it difficult for me. So and it's always exciting like that. And to the people who are watching this, who have been supporting not just me but everyone and the entire season who followed Zoomvivor, you make sure that you follow the next one because it really is, despite everything, it is an awesome game. And you get to
Yeah.
start, you know. I guess I just would like to give a shout out to Erica. Hashtag save the hat, guys,
Yes.
2021. Let's
Let's go.
go.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
Yes.
go,
go,
Tita.
Garrett. Let's go, Garrett.
Anyone
Let's
has
go, Migs.
if
Let's go,
anyone
Erica.
if
Shout out to
anyone has
Teacher
some
Deb. Hi,
if anyone
Teacher Deb.
if anyone
Shout
has some shout outs to the people you want to shout out to, now would be the time to do so. Feel free to do so right
shout out to Lauren
Shout
Isabel
out to
Ong,
Edward,
Mama.
Ton,
Shout out to
Shout out
Jumed.
to Thor. Shout out
Ram,
to Mickey.
Oh yeah, I want to say
Dakota.
hello to the entire PMO family and to the werewolf people and to VJ. I love you. Good night.
Landi nung Rain, nanalo na.
Huwag kang ano Karen, nakakaya sa mga nanonood. Charot! Good night!
Oh my gosh.
Good
Anyone else
night!
who wants
Ay,
to
Thank
shout
you,
out?
thank you.
Casey, how
Thank
about
you, James. James, thank you.
Thank you,
We
James.
never
Thank you,
really
James.
got
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
oh, shout out
Yes,
to
Thank you.
Jorge. Hi, Jorge.
No, I mean this has been a pleasure. I mean, like I said, and at the end of the final tribal council, this has been such a joy for us or myself, not only myself, but for the whole production to prepare. But this season would not come to life without you guys. So this has been a great season because of you, not because of us alone. So this the thanks or the credit belongs to you guys entirely. So I love you guys so much. This has been a great season to begin with. This has been the longest season we've had for 3 months now. And
Whose fault was that, James?
Whose fault was that?
I mean, but anyway, this has been one of the most memorable seasons we've had, full of drama, full of anarchy, living up to the name of the season, and of course, nothing short of great Survivor and great gameplay. That's nothing short of that, and that's all thanks to you guys. So I have you guys to thank, and in behalf of the production who is not here, like Jumed Ellis, Romeo, Sophia from season 2, and a few others like Dexter and Nick Knock and whoever else that I have not mentioned. Thank you guys for being part of this such amazing season. And to all of the cast, thank you for accepting our invites, for being part of this season, and for making this season such a memorable and something that's very close to my heart. Not only to my heart, but in my entire being as a host of this ORG. But I surely remember this, and I'll never forget this season because this is a season for the books. But we'll never know. I might say that for the future seasons, but
Ooh, girl.
oh.
Yeah.
But to date, yes. But to date, this has been like the best season so far in terms of
Oh, James instigating season wars. What up, season
Ooh,
three?
what up, season 3?
You like that season 3? You
You
like
like
that?
that,
You like
James?
that? No borders.
No, no, no.
that no borders will be get more competitive and like
No, no.
you know. But overall, this has been a great season. I mean, I know that you guys agree. I mean, this has been a great season. Like,
Garrett, Erica wants a shout out from you.
yeah,
Shout out Erica. Also shout out Ben. I know he's watching too. Shout out Jackson whenever
Ben,
you do
yes.
watch this.
Ben Horn, also Jackson, and yes, everyone else. But yeah, I mean, we can't wait for everything else to roll out for the future seasons. But this has been an amazing experience, not only in terms of the game, but in terms of life. So I'm forever grateful for this, not only as a host, but as an individual. And I hope all of you guys have got a good time overall. Like not only the viewers in our Facebook page, but also to you guys in the cast. Like this reunion is totally meant for us to really just touch base on everything and just have fun and revisit all of those moments that made this season as great as it is. And we hope that everyone finds a sense of accomplishment, a sense of happiness, and a sense of closure in terms of how the season went, in terms of whatever. But if there's anything else anyone wants to say, or
Actually, I have one.
I think Gage.
Gage, someone is
To my
requesting for
number
a
one
shout out.
fan,
Before I close-
Sasha,
before-
right? Is it
before-
Sasha?
Sasa.
Sasa?
Sasa,
To my
yes.
number one fan, Sasa.
wait,
My
so
only fan, Sasa, really. But thank you. You're
But
so
if
sweet.
there's
Wait,
any-
what? Gage, did you say you were on OnlyFans?
Yeah,
Good
I will be
girl.
posting the link in the comments, but
Come through, Gage.
But anyway, before we close off or wrap up this reunion, does the cast members have any questions for your fellow casts? Ooh, everyone.
I think so. I heard.
Rain,
that
I need you to
somebody-
clear the truth. Who was your real ride or die? I need you to fix the historical revisionism because I've got the receipts, my friend.
No, I mean, interesting. Somebody mentioned this to me because Mads, Stan, and Garrett all call me their F2 at some point. But my real F2 is
Gage
actually
is mine.
Gage.
no, it's really Garrett. I really wanted to go to the end with Garrett.
I'm leaving.
No, really.
3 months of
Sorry,
booing-
Rain, I did not want you there
months
because
of booing him
we
back.
saw what happened. I figured.
I
it
know
would
that's
happen.
that is why when I realized that you didn't want me, I'm like, okay,
Aw.
Stan wants me, so let's go, Stan. No, but my idea is that on day one, if people are giving you F2 deals, you accept everything. You just have to honor whatever works, I guess, at some point. So at some point, maybe if you ask me during the merge who my ride or die is, you are all like equally like my ride or dies. It just so happened that, Garrett had other plans.
Now you just work for Fox News, man.
Okay, so before any
Stan, wrong bitch, Stan. No,
Well, when I worked for Fox in the Philippines, so I can make that joke.
before we continue, guys, so I would like to make an announcement. We also have an award, not only for the winner. We have a fan favorite award to be awarded to the cast member who received the most comments or the most appreciation throughout the entire season, and that fan favorite award goes to, drum roll please. Da-da-da-da. Congratulations to Karen.
Karen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought Rain is the fan favorite.
Fan favorite of the season. So you will
Let's
get
go, girl.
a cash prize of $20 courtesy of our sponsor. So that should be enough to buy you a cord. No, I'm
Oh my god, James. Oh my god.
I'm
Oh my god.
Choke.
that's in the center of the game. I just loved Anthony's comment on that, on this voting confessional.
No,
Like,
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, again, I want to stress that I appreciate Lauren and Anthony being here.
yeah,
yeah.
I
yes,
was trying really hard to reach out to Anthony after the game. I even invited him to go into the Zoom chat and everything. It's nice to see him there one time. So yeah, I'm happy that we're moving past this. And hey, Mama Missy, it's been a while. Thank you for loving the hair. Love you too.
Belated happy
Belated happy
birthday.
birthday,
Belated happy
Missy.
birthday,
Belated
thank
happy
you.
Missy.
birthday.
Before we
Oh,
continue,
here.
Lauren and Anthony, is there anything you want to say before we move forward, or is everything good on your end?
What I didn't hear what James said.
Sorry, just to echo what I said, is there anything Lauren and Anthony you both want to say, or about everything that was has been talked about before we move forward? Or are you guys good on your end?
I'm good. I'm like I said, I gonna echo what's been said here. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody says things sometimes they feel is right or wrong. But just learn and move on, I guess.
What you, Lauren? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'm also good as well. And I just want to reiterate, if anyone wants to have a conversation, feel free to reach out to me and we can have a conversation if people want to have one. And also, same goes if there are people that aren't in attendance here due to prior commitments, which made them unable to be able to come. If you want to have a conversation, reach out to them directly, privately message them and have a conversation that way. And hopefully you can work through whatever you need to work through with those individual people. But I do want to reiterate, I know there are people that aren't here, and it is because of prior commitments that were made prior to the announcement of when the finale was going to happen. So no one's not here because they didn't want to be here. They just were unable to come. So I want to make that known as well.
So yeah, thank you so much for that, everyone. Just know that yes, Zoomvivor, not only Zoomvivor Anarchy, but Zoomvivor as a whole is a platform not only to promote diversity but also to promote tolerance amongst each other despite our differences. And at the end of the day, a channel for us to be someone who should be freely ourselves at the end of the day. And we should all be proud of that, whether we are a cisgendered person or a queer person or any other end of the spectrum. Then. So we're basically proud of who we are, and we should all be raising our flags, and we should all be someone who should be an advocate to tolerance and positive change in our community, not only in the Philippines, but also in the world. And with that being said, thank you so much to our viewers from our live stream on Facebook for joining us tonight on our live stream. And thank you to our cast members for joining us and making time to be here in our reunion. Thank you so much. And then the in behalf of the production and in behalf of Zoomvivor as a whole, we would like to extend our gratitude for you guys to be able to support our ORG, and hopefully you continue to support this platform not only for this kind of conversations but for the game itself in our future seasons. So with that,
And
thank you so much, guys, for watching our reunion and finale. We hope to see you guys in our future seasons. And yeah, if anyone wants to shout out, go. Now would be the time.
me, can I do a quick shout out?
Sure.
Actually, I think this person has already said his piece, but I think he needs to be reminded that, as cast, I know we weren't the easiest cast to handle at times, especially after the season with all the fighting that we did. But I just want to say thank you to James for having faith in us and
Yeah.
for casting us and for putting up a really amazing season despite all the challenges, despite all the things that we have experienced, despite all the bumps in the roads. We still made this reunion happen, and the attendance is really good. So you know what, James? From an actual licensed doctor to you, thank you. Medically,
Uh,
yeah,
you like that, James?
doctor recommend.
No, actually, I would like to give a shout out to Lee. If you're gonna watch this
Yes.
eventually and you want to talk, let's talk, Lee. That's all right. We can have this conversation.
Yes.
It's all good, Lee.
Also, shout out to Kristen. Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But shout out. She was
Shout
really
out to Bea as well.
Yeah, Bea.
Bea.
Bea's could have Bea's did not attend due to
And
pre-existing commitments, but she should have been here. But yeah,
Shout out kay Ivan Stewart.
Yeah,
Nagpapa-shoutout siya.
shout out to Stu.
Hi Stu. And Ton Paltep, kung di mo narinig kanina yun. Ton Paltep, shout out to you too.
Shout out to all the Z3 players. Stop
Yay.
offering pre-game alliances in the comments. That's
I
what's gonna get you
know.
voted out on All Stars. That is stupid.
No, I just have a question to I have a question to Gage. James.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Can you like show the parchment in which Gage voted out Lauren and then he said fuck you.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
for
Really?
satisfaction, I will show it to you. Just for you, Karen.
You have this weird attachment to that parchment.
I don't know why.
No, I love the 8 Karens in the parchment more.
No, that I mean,
That was a different one.
yes,
Yeah.
They're both iconic. I know. It's fine. It's
I
hard
love
to
the
choose.
fuck you, Karen, because do you really wanna fuck me?
I knew it. Knew it. Girl, I knew you were going there. I knew you were
Yo!
going there.
Oh my
I
god,
knew you were
Case is
going
here,
there.
Karen. Case is here.
Oh!
Karen, Case is here.
I knew you were going there.
It's in their heart.
Karen, do you
Asa is also listening, Karen. What
Right?
the hell?
We're still live on Facebook, right? You
And
know
it's
that, right?
Christmas.
Karen, your mom is watching this.
Karen!
For Karen's request.
Is your mom liking the comment? She's like, yes.
Yes, this is the vote. This is what you want to know. This is what you want to see. Karen, this is the vote that you wanted to see.
Oh my god.
Okay? So this is the one. Had not
Just zoom in on like the fuck you Karen part,
Yes.
you know?
Yes,
Like
yes.
that,
It's
Karen.
zooming in right now, so that is the zoom.
You like that,
You like
Karen?
that, Karen?
So just so you know, had Gage not voted for Lauren and voted for Karen, it would have been a tie. It would have ended up still Lauren, but you know, it would have been better TV, I guess.
You don't
What
know
about,
that.
wait, what about Casey? You
I
like
might have
that,
spoke
Karen?
up. You don't know that. I can't if it's a tie. You don't know.
Probably, yeah, we'll never know. It would have. It would. I mean, just like I said, it would have. It would have ended like the same, but it would have ended differently.
I mean,
But
Lauren's competing at tribals, so maybe she could have flipped one. For the
I
time.
know.
Yeah, you don't know that. You can't say you know for
She
sure.
brings the Sierra Easton fire.
Possibility.
Actually, if it goes on a tie, I actually think that Gage would go because Lila was there.
But the tie would be between Karen and Lauren.
Yeah, it would have been.
Between Kai and Lauren. Yeah, because Lila is there.
Lila would
His
not vote for
answer.
Lauren. Lila would never vote for Lauren. As she-
Exactly.
Yes.
And we all know that Jet was really waiting for the time to strike. So who knows?
Probably that
Yeah.
was probably the best time for Jet to strike, I guess, and side with Lila and save Lauren and eliminate Gage. I think that was the perfect opportunity. And who knows? Maybe Lauren might have been saved. Gage might have been saved. We'll never know. Those are the perfect one
Yeah.
to the season. So yeah, but regardless of how that was great TV. That fuck you, Karen was the best.
Oh, hi, Casey.
The best voting parchment.
The best one was with the 8 Karens with different fonts. I like that.
One of the
I will
best-
frame that.
And I stand by that each one of those Karen should have counted. Like this
Yeah,
was
like, I was close to counting the individual names as one vote each, but unfortunately they were in one parchment, so I couldn't count individual votes. But
And
anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the season just as much. I know like how you can see the cast did enjoy the season overall, regardless of what happened. But we hope that you guys it encourages you to watch future seasons or even better join the future seasons of Zoomvivor because we are looking for people to root for or to root against for. So we might see future TNKs, we might see future um people who might beat Karen's record of votes in the season.
oh, I doubt it.
Who might be the future Ayudas of the season, shout out to Gage, or who might be future showmances of the season, like Garrett and Gage, and people who will be um, very narrative, very who will be the storytellers of the season, like Stan, or the Swap Fuck, like Jeff and Casey, and the people who have side quests, like Missy. And so we may never know. But one thing's for sure that Zoomvivor is in for a ride this 2021 with Zoomvivor Pangea. We're very excited for you guys to see it, and we're very excited for us to be holding it in our page. So tune in for our future announcements, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Not only for the cast here, but also to the people who have been watching since the beginning of this live stream. So yeah, I mean, shout out to you guys, and this has been an amazing season. Not only in behalf of myself, but I know in behalf of all of the cast. So, do you have any other things you want to say, guys? And do you have any other things you want
Brandon
to
just wants to say that this is the fourth time you've said goodbye. So if you say goodbye more times than Karen
Yes.
has votes, then you deserve an award yourself.
What should the host remember?
Yes.
Closing this Zoom call.
Bye, guys. It's been
Thank you, guys.
fun. You have a good Christmas, everyone.
Congrats, Rain.
Whatever.
You're the queen.
Congrats,
Thank you
Rain.
so much.
Thank you,
Oh,
guys.
Sorry.
Nice
Thank
to
you,
meet all
everyone.
of you.
Lauren,
Can I
thank you
shout
so
out
much for
something?
being here. And
Yes.
Go, Leila.
I hope you guys had fun
Please
regardless.
notice me. Hi. Sorry, can I just shout out Jamie for bringing me into the world of Survivor because I've just met so many wonderful people here. And yeah, I just
Yay.
want to shout her out, Jamie and my friends Ice and Judy. And also my parents. I can hear them laughing when they were watching the blooper reel. So shout out to my family for supporting me. I can hear them upstairs. They're laughing at me right now. But yeah, Survivor was such a fun game. Just thank you so much, James, for inviting me here.
Actually, yeah,
Me. Yeah.
same. Can I just give a shout out to Jumed who introduced
Oh,
me to this
no.
Okay,
world?
bye. Okay, bye.
That's it. Bye.
guys.
That's it. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, thank you so much, guys. And again,
Thank
this has
you.
been James,
Thank
and
you
this
so
has been a
much.
great season.
Thank you
And
so much, James. Thank you, everyone.
good night, guys, and have a great
Thank you,
holiday.
everyone.
And
Merry Christmas.
Happy
everyone.
holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
Holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays, guys.
I
Happy
love your
holidays, y'all.
shirt, Gage. I love your shirt. You can take it off now.
Alat.
Because Karen's ready.